Hey guys, I'm here with Tim from Envitec America. Tim, can you introduce yourself and tell about yourself and the company, what is the potential and where the company is at the minute in America?
Sure, my name's Tim Logan. I'm the general manager of Envitec Biogas USA. We've actually been in the US since 2010. We built 4 plants in 2012, 13, 17, and 18. They were single digesters with CHPs. I got involved with this organization back in late 2020, looking to develop this market here for us in the US. We've had really explosive growth. I've set what I thought were some pretty aggressive 3 to 5 year goals. We've accomplished those goals in our first 18 months. I was the only employee in the country 18 months ago. Now we're up to 20. We're under contract to build 15 biogas plants currently. We've moved tank fabrication and production over here to the U.S. Every one of those plants is a dairy manure, and I'm feeling very strong about the prospects here in the U.S., both with the federal renewable fuel standards, the California low carbon fuel standards as well. That's really driving the dairy industry. In addition, I think that we have a lot of opportunities here in the U.S. in the future with some more challenging feedstocks, so food waste, different agricultural wastes, and industrial slurries. So very, very positive about Envitec, our history as a publicly traded corporation. It still very much feels like a family business. We had an incredible year last year. We recently published our financial results, and I'm just proud to contribute in some small way to the success of the Envitec group.
Would you say Envitec is the biggest the biggest market leader at the minute in the USA?
No, I probably wouldn't go that far. I don't think we have enough deep experience in the U.S., but I think we're rapidly developing and trending in that direction. And I think we're a bit unique in the U.S. in that we can offer a full tailored plant solution from the upfront pre-processing, sorting, and weighing and mixing, all the way through the anaerobic digestion, raw biogas treatment, biogas upgrading. Also very bullish in the U.S. about some what we might be considered a bit novel in terms of technology here, but rapidly developing in Europe, specifically liquefied CO2 and LNG. So while I would say we're not the market leader, right, by volume or revenue or turnover or anything like that, I think we're very, very well positioned and getting a lot of attention here in the U.S. about our brand and how we develop plants, how we think about plants and waste streams, and I think we're very well poised for continued explosive growth here in the States.
How do you see market? Is the market going straight, skyrocketing, or it's kind of go step by step right at the minute?
That's a great question. I think it depends really on the feedstock and the play and how you're going to monetize specifically the gas and increasingly the digestate, right? So we don't have a very good system set up today to calculate and quantify the benefit to the environment by reusing the digestate to organically fertilize your fields. Now the farmer can see that over time with increased crop yields, but there's not really a financial maybe incentive other than that, which might take a bit of time to develop. So when we're talking about the dairy manure, it seems like it's, I don't want to, the market's a little down, but I think that we're trending in the right direction. Also, we had the IRA passed last year, which gives the owners of the projects quite a bit of tax breaks and incentives to develop. So tax subsidies that were mechanisms that were previously available only to solar and wind are now available to biogas projects. So I think we're going to continue to see very good and strong growth, but I think the answer is probably it depends. It depends on that feedstock, what you're trying to process, and how that's going to be rolled out. So probably, we'll see explosive growth here, I think, in the food sector and some other agricultural wastes.
That sounds incredible. Where do you see Envitec in the next 5 years?
It's a great question. So I guess I'll focus my answer on the U.S. So I would consider in the next 5 years, I would hope that we would double our total output on an annual basis, have a strong construction group. That's the first leg that we like to enter a market with, followed by our service group. So that's going to be a well-oiled machine, I would expect, in 5 years. And I would expect that we have invested in our own plants in the U.S. in the next 5 years as well.
So you're going to operate sites as well after building?
Yes, correct. So I think that's kind of the wouldn't say the final frontier, but the next logical step for our growth in the U.S. market. Hey, we've proven that we can design and build a plant. Hey, we have really good service contracts and a really great service team. taking that next step and being a co-investor or a whole investor on a own plant that we can add to our portfolio, I think is the next logical step for us here in the U.S.
What would be the greatest challenges you face at the minute, which you would say they're the biggest challenges we have at the minute?
Labor. Not talented people, but the competition for talented people, and I think it's challenging to find good people. So creating a good cohesive organization with a good culture, everybody pulling in the same direction. I think technologically we're in a pretty good position. I think we skinned our knees or elbows, so to speak, with some supply chain issues here in the last 2 years, but I think we've done a really good job figuring that out and preparing ourselves to not be beholden to supply chain issues. So I think we've done a good job navigating those seas. For us, it's growing the business, the nuts and bolts every day of how to build that team, build that culture, build that organization. Really want to build upon the DNA that's been developed over the last 20 years in Germany, but we have to modify that a bit for the U.S. market, right? So that's really the challenge.
So you would say for the companies who has a lot of experienced people in the biogas industry, you would kind of accept the interest of the collaboration of the construction sites or service jobs?
Yeah, I think we're getting a really flat organization here, really great collaboration. So the challenge is really just figuring that out across the pond. But to that end, we have a really great staff here. And the reason we were able to grow from 1 to 20 in probably 18 months' time is all the support we do get from the group and the various subsidiaries around the world. So one of our benefits at Envitec is that we work in a lot of different markets. We're not just staring at one market. And a lot of these things are driven by subsidies and different regulatory schemes and mechanisms. The fortunes of the company sometimes are tied to where the action is in any given point in time. So as the U.S. swells, maybe some other markets shrink, but we can leverage our deep experience in biogas and knowledge, and we have a lot of people over here in the U.S. right now that are coming from different subsidiaries of ours throughout the world, and they're committed to spending a good bit of time here in the U.S., sharing that knowledge, information exchange, so that we can develop our U.S.-based staff to have the same know-how that we come to expect from our international colleagues.
I appreciate your time. Fantastic interview.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best, Envitec, for the growth in America.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.